Hello, this is Red
Blue.
and today we're going to review the magnificent mystery movie horror Christmas special that is Pooka.
You can tell that is amazing because it hits all the check marks. Mystery, horror, Christmas. What else do you want?
Family friendly. This
Family.
movie got you. It's pristine storytelling, and we will tell you why.
Yes.
So as you can tell from the cover, you got this mysterious monster.
Yeah. Doesn't he look creepy?
Oh, well, let's actually show what it looks like in a better thing. This
Look
is
at
what
that.
it really is.
That is just a piece of artwork right there.
Yeah, I can definitely tell what this thing is. It does not look like a rabbit that
No.
has USB cord mouth and like camera lenses for eyes.
No, Pooka is its own unique creature. And I gotta say, I love it.
You thought Furbies were scary? Well, this one beats Furbies.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of mystery behind this thing. It's a mascot. Well, it's a toy
Yeah.
that Wilson, the main character, has to do a dance for.
He has to audition for
Yeah.
the role of Pooka because Pooka is just that special of a role.
So basically, I feel like this would be a good summary for a plot. Wilson wants to star in like the Christmas Carol. I think that's what it is.
Yes, he's auditioning for the Christmas Carol.
And he can't act.
Mhm.
So instead, the woman says, "All right, put your hands out as an offering, then into a triangle." Oh wait, did I mess it up?
I think it's like arms up, form a triangle, out like an offering.
Fly like
a
an fly like a plane. Yes. Hands up, forming a triangle at your forehead, out like an offering, fly like a plane.
Yeah, and for this, you put your hands down to your side and kind of like, do like what a plane would do. Like how you mimic a plane.
Well, really, it's spinning in circles.
Well, it's spinning in circles, but you know how people
That's a helicopter.
You're right.
Helicopters are not planes.
They fly, so I give him credit for that.
So yes, he does that. What feels... I can't pretend anymore.
Oh, come on!
It feels like 5 minutes of him doing this over and over while this one sassy woman is like, do it again, do this, and gets like...
She sounds annoyed with him, like he's doing the worst job ever.
He gets like 0.00001% faster each time he does it.
Yes. And all the while, some guy's up at the rafters.
Clap.
Actually,
Yes.
this guy is up at the rafters, clapping his little heart out in tune to the thing.
Yes. And it's like, oh, sorry about the ice cream truck. So yes, he is just clapping.
Yeah.
And then he's like, alright, you're the guy we want.
Yes.
Who takes forever to do the dance.
Yes. And has to do it multiple times.
And in which, basically, they're selling a product, which is Pooka, as you can see on
Yes.
the right.
Pooka is supposedly a little doll that you can have talk back to you. But the trick is that sometimes it will be a good Pooka and say things in a nice way, or sometimes it will be a bad Pooka and say things in an angry way, and you never know which one it's gonna be.
Yeah. And if it's naughty Pooka, the eyes are red.
Yes. If it's good Pooka, the eyes are blue, as shown here.
Yeah. I can't remember. There's a beautiful... I actually will compliment the movie that it actually has a nice jingle for Pooka.
It does.
That's catchy.
It is extremely catchy.
Do you remember what it was? You remember better than I.
It's like Pooksies, Pookadoos, Pook something, Pook you. You never know what Pooka will do. Pooka laughs, Pooka flies. Pooka flies?
Yeah.
Flies. You never know what Pooka will do. Something like that. I can't remember the exact lyrics. But Pooka does stuff.
Yeah, Pooka does stuff. So, yeah, he has to do this, and he's not allowed to speak.
No.
What? Actually,
he can.
So here's the thing. He has to wear the mascot, which is just a bigger Pooka, and these toys are only going to be sold around Christmas this one year.
Yes, and in one location. You
Yeah.
have to only get it from this one location, or else you cannot get it at
Yeah.
all. And it's like this little pop-up store.
Yeah, it looks like a candy store from like when candy stores existed.
Yeah.
Because why would you sell these things at Walmart?
Yeah. Why would you try and sell it anywhere else but that one location? I guess it makes the demand higher. But
Yeah, but if you make the demand too high, you're gonna have little supply.
true. It's still very odd, but they're somehow able to sell millions of these.
Yes, millions at a place that could probably only hold 1,000.
Yeah.
So.
And is able to produce them at such a fast rate for some reason.
So yeah. So he does this. And Wilson eventually just starts getting like weird visions.
Yep.
To be honest, pretty much everything between the beginning and the end just feels like one huge ball of a mess.
Yes. See, here's the thing. Pooka is a movie where even if you try to make sense of the plot, you will not go anywhere, because as soon as you think you know what it is, it changes on you like a very fast train.
Here's some scenes that I feel like are very important to mention. So Wilson gets an apartment with this one woman named Red, who he treats as like a significant other.
He does. Like, there's this one scene where he helped her build a little Christmas tree, and they stand in front of it, admiring it, and they're in like a pose like a freaking white couple on Christmas would have, where he has like his arm around her and everything, and they're just admiring this tree. It's very... I mean, some people could say that they're just very close friends, but here's the thing. He only just moved in, and suddenly they're very, very touchy-feely with each other, and acting more like a couple or someone who has been close for years.
Normally, when I have friends,
yeah,
I'm not holding them like I would someone I am dating and kiss their head and like rub their arm.
Also, another thing to mention, they met for no reason. Like, he just walked into her apartment and suddenly they become friends.
Yeah, they're neighbors, I think.
They're neighbors in an apartment, but he just kind of walks up to her door and suddenly they start talking and now they're friends?
I think the actress did a good job playing Red.
Oh, I agree.
I had no problems with Red. However, she served nothing to the plot.
She really didn't.
And
it's usually like the good actors in this stuff that have really non-significant characters.
Yeah, if it's a character that's actually good and charismatic, chances are they don't matter to the story.
Yeah.
For example, the manager, which I mentioned earlier, he was funny. I'll go over what I thought the movie was before we tell you. Thing is, here's a really good part. Which Wilson also has a love interest in the movie.
Yeah, and I personally like her as, like, you know, a person and a character. As a thing, just that's important to the plot, she's not that.
There's also no chemistry.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Um, so there's some very strange scenes which I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to show, and I shall mention them. So there's one scene where after Wilson um meets up with the one woman he has a crush on, but also the woman has a child and he's trying to get close to her by, oh, I know who Pooka is. I can bring Pooka to like your kid's birthday party that's also around Christmas time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, it's like summertime during this.
Yeah, it is. Like, the whole feel of it has no Christmas feeling at all. It feels like it's more like spring or summer.
Yeah.
But yet it's made around Christmas?
I think they're also like right next by an ocean. They're either... There's no place in this movie.
There isn't really. Like, there's no one location that I think you can suss out.
So, there's a scene in which he gets in the Pooka... By the way, they just gave him the Pooka outfit. He's the only mascot. In which he goes to his window. Oh, yes.
I hate this part.
Only wearing the Pooka mask, naked, and and jerks off. Why this was needed, I don't know. It shouldn't have existed. There was no reason for it.
When I first saw that scene, I seriously considered just walking away. Because it is so disgusting.
When Blue showed this to me, I was like, I don't like any of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I made him watch this movie because I was like, you gotta see this. You just gotta see how bad it is.
And when I saw that, I just felt violated.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. It feels like you walked in on someone actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see it.
No, it doesn't.
You wish you could unsee it.
It feels like I walked into my own house and saw someone doing that.
Yes, very much so. It is just, it's unneeded, it's gross. Why
Makes
would you...
no sense.
It makes no sense. Why? Why? Why, guys? Why?
I watched Game of Thrones, and then, if you know what that is, there's a lot of nudity in it.
Yeah.
In the early seasons, there's eventually finally less of it. The Game of Thrones has less, like... Game of Thrones, like, alright, that's fine, I don't care. But this movie's like, this isn't needed.
Yeah, it's definitely not needed. Especially in the Pooka costume. And he only has, like, the head on, too.
Yeah, only the head. So he looks like a psychopath.
He does. He looks very much like a psychopath. And the thing is about that scene is that you don't know what's going on first. You see him in a corner and all that, and you're like, and it zooms in on him, like, oh, what's that? And then you start hearing it, and I'm like, it's not what I think it is, right? And then it actually shows it, and it's just like, okay, I feel disgusted.
There's also another scene in which, again, I guess Wilson has visions of Pooka doing things.
Yeah.
Again, everything in the middle makes no sense at all. And basically, Pooka's having sex with a mattress.
That's right, I forgot about that scene.
You just blanked it out.
I blocked it out. I tried to block everything out of that movie.
And that scene also makes no sense.
No, it doesn't, because it's like Wilson walking in to see the Pooka costume, which is him, humping a mattress next to a very big burning fire.
Oh yeah. So basically, that's the only thing in the middle that stands out. Because everything else did not make sense. So, you know how normally a story goes from point A to point Z. Now, there might be in that moment where you might see, oh, here's some side stories going on.
Yeah.
But those side stories run parallel with the main one, in which they make sense. That They meet up. They're coherent. In this movie, it's like if I went to point D to start the movie, went to point F,
then to point A.
A, then like G, Q,
Z.
Z,
And then back to B.
B, and then the end.
Yes. It is very, very weird. Also, they tried to have a running theme in this movie, which is the phrase, "Look at all the pretty lights." And they try to, like, reference it in this movie, like, they're clever. Like, at one point, the Pooka toys start malfunctioning.
Yeah.
They have to get recalled because they start malfunctioning. And one thing they say is, "Look at all the pretty lights," over and over and over again. And then, well, I don't know if we're that far yet, or if you want to get that far yet.
I'll tell like what I thought the thing was,
Okay.
because also they have one thing where there's a bunch of blue lighting and then red lighting.
Yeah. Which, in a normal movie, would actually be pretty cool, because it's like, oh, it changes in color depending on changes in, like, Pooka's mood. In this movie, it just adds some more chaos.
So, let's tell what we thought the movie was. Actually, no. Let's tell what the ending is, and then we're gonna help fix it.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, the woman and child. Basically, the entire movie's a dream.
Yes and no?
The ending is a nightmare. Oh no, not right for a sec. Everything you saw before the movie ending is pretty much a nightmare. Exactly. It makes no sense.
Because, like, you could see it as a nightmare, but at some point it's not really, but then you don't know what it is if it's
Sometimes
not.
it's a fever dream.
It's a fever dream, sometimes it's reality, sometimes it's just what the fuck.
So, basically, the woman and child is actually Wilson's.
Yes.
And he's an abusive father.
Yes.
He comes home drunk, screaming at his wife, thinking she's cheating on him. And then, I don't remember, they get in the car he destroys the Christmas tree and is like,
Yeah.
alright, we gotta get a new Christmas tree.
Yes.
So they start driving to get a new Christmas tree. By the way, Pooka is a toy that Wilson got for her son.
Yes.
They get in a car accident, and one of the people who gets in a car accident is with Red.
Yeah. And, like, that's where the look at all the pretty lights come in, is because, like, the mom is trying to calm this child down, make it seem like the situation not as bad as it really is. And she's like, "Look at all the pretty lights," and points them out, and that's when they get into a car crash.
Yeah. Car crash. That happens. By the way, my favorite character, the manager, has no name. Never.
Yeah, his name isn't mentioned once.
He comes over, turns out he's a paramedic, starts getting Wilson. By the way, there's this happening, and then Wilson in the background in like a Pooka outfit watching all of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the final scene is Pooka saying, "Look at all the pretty lights," and a house is on fire. Wait, no, the car's on fire.
Yeah, the car's on fire, and that's where I guess the flames come in. Because before, like, once he starts realizing that Pooka is bad, he tries to, like, find everything, and so Pooka's eyes start filling with flames and all that.
Exactly. Even the ending, basically, it does the worst thing, which is, it's all a dream. Movie ends.
Yeah, and here's, like, the thing. Here's what I've seen online, because some people say that it's supposed to, like, represent that, Wilson, regretting his past and everything, he comes to this new place to start a new life and all that. Because the past is like him getting in a car accident and killing his wife and child. And I guess Red is supposed to represent that drunk, driver, because Red always drinks and everything. And then there's just one scene where Red basically falls out of a window, and the paramedics just say it's probably because she got drunk and just fell.
Yeah.
And so, all these characters represent a different thing, and then even then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Trying to explain the movie doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like there's so many scenes we didn't talk about, but at the same time, what's the point in analyzing them? Because none of them make sense.
Yeah. And a lot of times the stuff in the middle has no point in the actual ending.
Yeah, it's all just kind of a clusterfuck.
So here's how the movie could be better.
Okay, yeah.
I like the idea of the mascot has its own brain.
Yeah.
That's scary. I think that's already you need for a good horror movie.
Yes.
Wilson becomes the mascot. Turns out the manager dude here is corrupt.
Yeah.
And wants someone to become the mascot. Once the mascots become real, Pooka has a mind. Wilson, it's basically a parasite. It takes over Wilson, and then Wilson really can't distinguish between reality and what Pooka sees.
Yeah.
And how it ends there is whatever. I think that's fine enough. Corrupt businessman wants Pooka to be its own thing.
Yeah.
And Wilson's unfortunate to get that. That would be a simple horror movie. That'd be maybe good.
Yeah. But instead, we get Pooka.
Yes. During the entire film, I was trying to piece together what I was seeing.
You were. It was really fun to watch because I had already seen this when I showed you this. And you were sitting through the movies okay, well, obviously I can see where this is going. Maybe this is what's going to happen and everything. And I'm just kind of dude, stop trying to make sense of it because you can't.
I like to look deep into things, and even if I get misled from my own critical thinking, it's that's fun. Trying to predict. However, this movie you can't predict, and when you find out it's all a dream, you just get the feeling of being disappointed, and your time is wasted.
Yeah.
And you didn't really. You felt betrayed.
Yeah, you really do feel betrayed because you're going into this being okay, this movie looks pretty good. Pooka, creepy character. Why would you want your children to have this creepy character? And then just throughout the movie, you get sad. You just get very sad and confused.
Wasn't Also, I want to point out that let's talk about the actors and director and writer. This guy, he played really good when in the ending when he's being this abusive father screaming. That's the only time in the movie when I'm wow, this is tiny scary.
Yeah, because it's a real life situation, that can happen, and it's creepy. And the way he played it out was really good. It was really good acting.
But other than that, this guy didn't act with anything else.
His character was very, very bland. It didn't have a whole lot of emotion and everything. And clearly by the scene where he plays the abusive father, he can act. I'm guessing that's how he was directed.
Yeah. It's really the writing, because I didn't get the impression that he's a bad actor. Just that.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying that's probably how he was directed. Because directors usually, kind of call the shots on how they want things portrayed.
Actually, let's talk about the writer.
Yeah.
George C. Olsen. He wrote Pooka. He wrote Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Which is widely acclaimed to be a good movie.
It is. It is very dumb humor. And it's just kind of a fun, lighthearted movie.
But this man, obviously, is terrible at this. This movie is if you took 5 plots.
Yeah.
Put them in a blender. And then once you have, alright, no. I think our friend, we watched it with one of our friends, Alex, put it better. They took a bunch of things from the trash can, blended that together, and it's here's our movie.
Yes, very much so. And I actually thought of something else too, like how I described it, because those of you probably won't know this reference, but there's this ride in Silver Dollar City called Fire in the Hole, and Fire in the Hole that has 3 points where you like just drop, and you never know when they're gonna be. Well, I mean, if you've ridden the ride a couple of times, you know, but first time you never really know. And that's kind of how it is, because you're like going on the track and you think you know what's going on and everything, and then boom, something else happens and you drop and you're just confused as ever again because it's so unexpected. That's how it feels like to me.
It feels like to me I get in a chair, and then that chair drops, like just crumbles into ash, and then someone says, "Sit down."
Oh my god, that's pretty good. I love
You're only
that.
left being confused. George Olsen, you can't write horror. Pooka makes no sense. It's terrible. Now, I will appreciate it for one thing. If you're in a movie where you're just left with questions and want to be betrayed, where you're thinking, man, I'm gonna watch something of value. At least see someone's like, wow, this has any kind of merit at all, and you just want to be betrayed. This is the movie for you.
Yep. Yep. It's a movie I definitely recommend watching at least once to kind of get what we're talking about here with the plot not making any sense. I think it's something you need to watch at least once in your life, even if you feel like that time has been wasted.
Cause I actually enjoy bizarre movies.
Yeah, I do too.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's a really good one.
That's so
Um, but this movie is terrible. Now, I also feel like we need to put blame on the director.
good.
Now,
And oh, the director.
when I heard this name, I was very surprised. His name is Nacho Vigalondo, I think.
Something like that.
I don't know his last name that well. But his first name's Nacho.
His first name is Nacho. And I think that's the only important part that we need to know about him. Is that his name is Nacho. Someone named him Nacho.
Some parent decided to name their child Nacho. And this man looks like the hipster dude. Now, I'm being mean to these people.
Yeah.
However,
They might be lovely people. We don't know. But for comedy's sake.
but they made Pooka.
They made Booka. Yeah. Which is a crime among itself.
It's a crime against humanity.
It is. Also, another mean thing, he looks like he has no neck.
Actually, it looks like he just has a very long black neck.
It just looks. It looks like he doesn't have any. Like, what's there underneath the
Wait a
scarf?
minute, actually,
Nothing.
You're right. He's like Rayman. He just has a floating head.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Sorry, Nacho.
I'm being mean to Nacho. In all fairness, when I found out his name was Nacho, I was like, I love this name.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty happy that his name is Nacho, and don't take what we say about these people seriously because I'm sure they're very lovely people. But they made Pooka. So we're not trying to offend anyone by, like, jabbing at them. Everybody needs a good jab in their lifetime, I think.
Like, that was Pooka.
That was Pooka.
What rating would you give this movie?
In terms of it being a good movie, probably like a 2 or a 3. If I'm being generous, a 4. In terms of like a bad movie that I just love to watch because it's so bizarre, a 10.
Oh, I'd give lower. I was gonna say like a 6 on like bad movie scale, because like I would say The Room and Trolls 2 are like
Okay,
10s.
if you compare those, yeah, then definitely like a 6 or lower. But I think it's a movie worth watching at least once, just to kind of see the full effect of it.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good movie to watch once, be like, this exists.
Yeah, this exists, and you need to experience it. But anytime after that, you don't need to watch it again if you don't want to. Just don't even touch it again. Why would you do that? Why would you torture yourself like that?
I just want to point out. I'll actually point out another good thing they did here. That this is actually a scary thing.
Oh yeah, no, Pooka is actually legitimately creepy. The only thing I don't get is that it's definitely very, very creepy. But why would you sell that to a child? Because all the toys look like that. And what kid in their right minds would want that? I'd rather get a Furby than a Pooka.
Yeah, like if I saw this thing coming down on me in a hallway, I'd be like, damn, I'm gonna die. This thing's a demon.
Oh yeah.
But I would not, if I was a parent, I would not be like, Pooka, I need to get this for my child.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if it's just me because I have anxiety, but the whole naughty setting up Pooka, if like I had a toy that just randomly started being angry at me, I would cry as a child.
They're basically toy parrots because they will repeat something you say.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll be mean about it. I feel like some kids might actually be upset by that.
Yeah.
Because they won't understand.
Like, why is this thing screaming at me?
Yeah, why is this thing being, like, upset at me?
In, like, a demonic voice, too.
Yes. It is very creepy. I don't get what parent would want to buy this and what kid would want this. If a kid wants this, I think you need to kind of get them evaluated.
Yeah. So, the good things I would say is Wilson being this abusive dad, that was good acting.
Yeah.
The manager, he was a fun character.
Yes.
Pooka itself was scary.
Yes.
About it.
Yeah, that's about it. There's nothing else there. Because everything else is just whatever it is. I don't even know what to call it. So, that's Pooka.
Pooka. More like Booka.